They say that beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. But Agune Chamber, I would like to really ask you, what did you see in me? I know that love is blind, but of all things, why call me your bride? Why call me your bride? He said, even in your mess, you they enter his eyes. No wonder he calls you the apple of my eyes. You don't know me. Broken by the sting of sin, torn apart by several heartbreaks, I was left shattered. My life was crumbling. My entire world was crumbling. I'm the voice of that young boy that grew up in the streets where life was truly strict. Growing up in the hood, I had fellowship with guns and bullets as if it was Hollywood. Drinking to stupor, staggering in liquor. Whenever I smoked, it reminded me so well that this world is truly not my home. Smoking and drinking raised me on high just to leave me down below this mess. I'm the voice of that young girl with a defiled temple. This temple has been desecrated by priests. I mean, even your so-called clergymen have tasted of this forbidden fruit, so please spare me the sermon. The joyful pain of gulping down Postino too, now and then as if this life there too. Yes, I found solace in those hard pills. At least they made me soulless. See, pain severed my heart into chambers like the septum, but there was never a place of exist like the rectum. One chamber was stuck with guilt from the past. My past was constantly on a replay. This isn't a joke. I would like to ask you, have you ever been in chains so much that liberty tastes like poison? Have you ever been held so much on the ground that standing tall is almost impossible? Have you ever found so much comfort within the confines of your pain that happiness is a risk you wouldn't dare take? But however, I decided to give this your Jesus thing a trial. But like Thomas, I was still doubtful. I was careful not to allow him in so much so that when I fail, as usual, it wouldn't be so painful. Yes, I already made provisions for my downfall. For altar calls upon altar calls, yet my addictions were never altered. My pain constant, my fears intact. Please, I would like to ask you, at what point does the cross cross out the sting of sin in your mind? At what point does the past look potency in the efficacy of the blood? How come I went to Golgotha, the place of death, but still came back alive in my old self? Is there no longer balm in Gilead? But one day, one night, or better still, that night, with my knees bent as the night was fast spent, still lost in my loss, tired of my tiredness, but fed up of my weaknesses, flipping through the pages of this scripture, trying to find out more about this sculpture, I think I know I heard him speak from within. For the melody of his heartbeat is real. The chords of his love draws nearer. The sweet melody of his voice was out into a breath. He said to me, you were called by my name, and to prove that this wasn't a wrong dial, I sent my son to die. He said, your bride price cost died. No wonder you were bought with his blood. He said, you can't nurture worldliness and expect to have godliness. Peter started sinking, not because the wind was on the increase, but because his mind lost the gaze. And with tears flowing down my eyes, I asked, where have you been? He said, right here. What can be more glorious than knowing that the King of glory dwells within the confines of your mortal vessel? He said, I didn't die at the cross of Calvary to still see us in this rivalry. He said, I didn't die to live in heaven permanently. He said, I died to abode with you for till death brings us close. I said, you are mine. So at his voice, let the cords of depression let loose. At his words, let the fetters of fear break loose. Guard your loins, so wounded shoulder. Brace up and rest on his shoulder. For there's a place in him where your lust is in his love. There's a place in him where your anger was nailed to his finger. There's a place in him where he gathers the broken pieces of your heart and he says, peace be still.